everyone, and welcome to the Tier 1 con here in Malmo, Sweden. Right next to me, I have a very good friend all the way from, not Japan now, but all the way from Germany.
Yeah.
We have Kai Savatari. Just all-around good guy, lover of magic, so I picked you out to be my partner in crime for today.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Kai Sawatari, aka Sawatarix. Usually I do my own streams, but today I have the honor to be here together with Andreas Petersen in this Tier 1 MTG con, for the first time also being in Sweden, and we have an awesome tournament to cover.
We really do, because to start things out, we have this charity tournament played in the old school format. But that's not all. It's the Swedish rules, meaning that you can't play your revised dual lands, you can't play your foreign black border duels.
Right.
We're talking alpha, beta, unlimited.
Like, it's actually the creme de la creme, I would say.
It really is.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm hoping for a combination of sweet magic and just sweet looking cardboard.
I think overall it's gonna be a lot of nostalgia. I think a lot of you guys might be just watching the stream and go hey, I had this card, when I was a kid or something, I think I'm so excited because we probably see so many cards from Unlimited, Beta, Alpha, all this ridiculously hard stuff to find,
Arabian
see
Nights.
that all on camera today.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm pumped.
And so I know a little bit about old school, but not a lot. So I know that, of course, there's a restricted list. The Power 9 is awesome.
Yep.
You have, I would say, cards like Mana Drain is also restricted, which is not very intuitive because I come from a vintage background, and that card is not, But it's pretty good here because Mana Burn is gone, so we're playing by modern rules of Magic.
Right.
Same mulligan rules, no Mana Burn, etc. And I think that'll come up with cards like Mana Drain, like Suchi. Do you know that card? So,
yeah, 4 mana 4/1.
4 mana 4/4,
Yeah.
So when it dies, if you played with Mana Burn, you actually take 4, but you don't here. So all these kinds of stuff. I think it's perfect mix between nostalgia and great Magic. So I'm very, very excited.
Dude,
if people brought if they came to win or they came to have fun or both.
I guess obviously it's fun to win, but I think everyone's gonna have a good time here, since the decks are so sweet, and we do have a feature match for the first round, right?
We do, yeah. So let's just go to the game and see what's going on here. We have the beautiful artwork by Morten on the playmats. He's here to join us this weekend, signing cards, altering cards. It just looked insane. I saw a Beta Chaos Orb get the full treatment earlier today.
Oh,
so
goodness.
it was beautiful to look at. So we don't have deck lists, but we will just see what's going on and take you guys through it.
Yeah.
Hold your hand and see what's going on.
What I already like is that we see some opening hands. This is some mono green love. I dig it. I dig it so much.
I saw Berserk.
Yeah.
What kind of creatures would you use? What's the green flying man called?
It's
Script Sprites?
Script Sprites, yeah. It's a 1 mana 1/1 flying. But you gotta go Giant Grove, get a couple of pump spits. I think I already saw a Pendle Haven, which kind of goes very nicely with
that
those
makes
1/1s.
sense. That's originally from Legends.
It is. Yeah.
And on the other side
Even
of the table,
these legacy play.
oh baby, this is what I like.
Oh my goodness.
It was a mulligan.
Oh, it was a mulligan.
That's
Oh,
important.
no. Oh,
That's very important because in a 7-card hand, Livar Alexandria is very strong. Also note that if that player had been on the draw, it would have been also fine in his 6-card hand
Oh my
because
goodness. Yeah.
draw to 7 and then keep activating it from next turn.
As we see, 2 1 mana 1/1 Ladova Elves, in the table. This is so much mana on turn 2 already. Yeah.
But I think this deck is not super well set up to take advantage of the mana ramp. But let's see about that. So we have a Chain Lightning taking care of one of them, which shouldn't be super devastating.
But this is what so many people love about this old format. It's so classic, It's like Ladova Elf, bolt your Ladova Elf.
Oh, Ice Storm.
Ice Storms. Essentially a Stone Rain on your plateau. I like that a lot.
I like it a lot, yeah.
Going for the colored source, instead of the Mishra's Factory.
Definitely, because in this format, the mana fixing isn't perfect. You need City of Brass if you're playing a multicolor deck.
Yeah.
And you're keeping the players to the right. I know his name is Axel, so Morten is keeping Axel off potential counterspell. I don't even know if he's playing that card, but...
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
it's just a bunch of Llanowar Elves, yeah.
Third Llanowar Elves and get in for 2, and now I think...
Like that. And there is oh my goodness, this is a powerhouse, oh my goodness. Especially on this board where it's Silver Library usually pretty. Oh my goodness, it just keeps going on. You know?
Yeah, so both players are kind of firing on all cylinders. But maybe Axel, did he miss his land drop there?
I think so.
Wow,
He's a little stuck on lands. Yeah.
That's a horrible feeling after Ancestral Recall. I know it all too well from Vintage.
Right, right. But like it means so much for the Silver Library also, because like you can kind of go all in almost, right? Because there's no pressure.
Exactly. The Silver
Yeah.
Library is just so good when your life total is not under pressure, and I think that's what's going on here. It's like a classic who's the beatdown, and to be honest, I think the mono green deck is the beatdown here.
Right.
So Silver Library, I'm not sure how liberal he was there.
Oh my goodness! What on earth? Is this just game? This is just game. This is just game.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness!
game over.
This
Giant
is like
growth to 4, Berserk to 8, another Berserk to 16, so it takes 17. Is that exactly the lethal?
looks like it.
So, how much damage did Lanewolf get in for before? One got Pentelhaven, and I think maybe he was just at exactly 17. That would be pretty awesome if that's the case.
yeah, it might have been the case here. As players shuffle
You can
up the
see
decks.
his life total up there with the dice.
Oh yeah, the
I
17.
think it was exactly 17 for the win.
Like this, you know, like these old school decks from like, you know, like back in the day, they're kind of like the backbone of like multiple like archetypes, even in the like modern format and legacy and
Yeah.
even like pioneer. And like this mono green deck, it really reminds me of like Infect of some sort. You know, having like super cheap creatures and you kind of start pumping them. You know.
Yeah, and in this format with no like free interaction, you never really know if you're dead or what's going on. So
Right.
I think that Silver Library was just a key card because it looked like he had all the mana in the world, but not
Right.
whole lot of like impactful stuff to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty sweet. And thank you guys for joining us here on the adventure. Today we have the Old School tournament. Tomorrow I'll be casting the Modern main event with Andrea Mengucci and Simon Nielsen. So yeah, we should have a little bit of something for everyone.
That's sick. Okay. So
Yeah, that was crazy. I didn't expect because we saw the hand
right.
and like, but that was 2 turns prior or 3 turns prior, and Silver Library happened. A couple of draw steps happened. So yeah, 3 pump spells got the job done exactly.
Right. Also, like every format has like you know, how to say, like the most like staple cards, right?
Yeah.
And Old School, we have like the most iconic instant sorceries, you know, like artifacts. Like we don't have any planeswalkers, you know.
Right.
We only have a limited amount of card types
Yep.
in this format, but we have some of the most iconic spells ever printed, right? Like
Yeah.
Counterspell, Lightning Bolt, you know, like
Great.
all those cards. Disenchant, also like a powerhouse, I think, because like Disenchant it can hit so many
Yeah,
so many
Disenchant
things,
is
right?
Disenchant is definitely a main deck card in this format. It's so flexible, killing mocks, killing factories. But then again, you also saw Silver Library. We know of Black Vice. We know even Blood Moon is a card in the format.
Right,
So
right.
a lot of utility for that card. I think even Shatter is a main deck card in this format.
Oh man, yeah, I would totally go for it. Like as we saw the Mishra's Factory, which is like so like it's like almost any deck in Old School kind of goes for a couple of Mishra's Factories at least, because like the card is just so good and there are not many answers. But Disenchant is a good answer.
Yeah, and also just the cost is just so low if your mana base is reasonable. I guess even some of these control decks, the mana base isn't really reasonable, but they still play it.
I mean, there are no fetch lands, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no fetches.
Okay. As we are about to
It was so
enter
brutal
the second game, that was just like he was just, you know, Morten was just going off here.
Yeah, but it came like out of nowhere, in my
Right.
opinion.
Right.
So this hand is like, I have a Library of Alexandria.
Uh-oh.
Okay, there's a Black Mox with the DT. Okay, so I mean, that's a good hand, right?
I like that hand a lot.
You get Library going and you can like tutor for
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, it's a little awkward for Axel because like he's on the play and he
Yeah.
has this.
He has to
Library
slow
Alexandria,
down his
you know,
game plan in order to
right.
get Library going, but I think it's the right thing to do.
Oops.
Yeah, so that could change something for more than
Right.
having that information revealed, but
Right.
in this format we only have 1 strip mine, which
That's-
is why, you know, there are different rules for like, depending where you are in the world.
I know.
Pretty sure that in the US they play with 4 strip mines.
They do. Most people do. Because exactly of the Library of Alexandria. Like you guys might see that on camera later, but
Yeah.
this card is just pretty much devastating. Like
Yeah.
it runs away with the game so quickly. It's actually almost better than Ancestral Recall, I want to say.
Yeah, I think in a,
gets on-
but
onside.
this is a like he's playing against a fast deck, so I mean that's like the drawback that if you die in the meantime, it doesn't matter if you have 7 cards in hand.
Right.
So
right.
let's see if Morten can find enough pressure to make that
Yeah.
happen, or But I think Axel has some pretty good turns lined up. Turn 1, do nothing. Turn 2, activate a library, play Mox Mox Demonic Tutor.
For what would
Yeah.
the DT for
Yeah,
Ancestral or
so,
something, or?
well, it depends if he finds a land, but...
Right. Okay, there is these Library of Alexandria. On we go with. Oh, there you go. Yeah, the script sprites. 1 mana 1/1 flying.
By the way, you have someone who recognizes your voice in the chat.
Hey everyone, how's it going? How's it going? Thank you for hanging out.
Yeah. Definitely happy that Kai decided... Oh, is this a Lotus and Wheel of Fortune? Not that I like going for those at all, but it's pretty... Some spicy cards, at least.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, like, the Wheel of Fortune can almost kind of, like, definitely ensure that you own 7 cards, right? Like, even if you run out because of maybe something like a balance, for example, you know.
Yeah,
if there's, like, too much pressure on the board.
I'm very excited to see what he goes for here.
Yeah.
He has so many options.
He might just go for one of the... Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And then keep his hand at... Note that
oh my goodness.
He doesn't play out any...
Oh my goodness. So this is like, okay, I gotta say a couple of things before, because like Surrendered with Freed is the #1 most played creature in this old school format,
sure.
right? And City in a Bottle is like one of the best answers to not only the best creature in the format, but also like the best land in the format. You know?
Yeah, that was just unreasonable. It took me like a few seconds to realize that.
Right.
Okay, that's the card that was cast, because those 2 cards just disappeared. So let's just talk about. So I mean, I play competitive Magic, so I'm worried about value here. So let's just. So he cracked the Lotus to play a spell, and he lost his land, but that land drew 1 card, so that's like a wash. But it's still a very good play. So, and this is like the refill, but the thing is, okay, so I think he discards like 3 or 4 cards. Like both players, it's kind of symmetrical, except Morten will get the turn with the mana available first.
Exactly.
And he plays the Berserk deck, so I'm very worried for
Yeah, and he already has 3 points like of pressure on the board.
So,
like,
City in a Bottle, is it... So, no, you can't play City of Brass out?
They can't be played, yeah.
So what if you have another version? I know you... Okay, so you can't have another version here. But what if you play, like, Chronicles in another format? Like, with other rules?
Dude, that's so off. I would probably call the judge, but...
Yeah. I guess it's, like, the first printing.
That's, like, the weirdest way to, like, you know, like, circumvent a
yeah,
card,
so have
right?
the, like, cheapest version of the card. So, do you think Axel is representing Swords of Plowshares here? Or do you think he... what's the mindset of Morten here? Because we don't know if the players know each other. He doesn't know if Axel plays white. But that is a reason to play out the Pearl, so...
Yeah.
So it's like infect versus removal dynamic, I think.
Might be, yeah, might be. Like,
So,
right.
do you want to slow down and win, or do you want to, like, take a gamble?
So, it obviously depends a little bit on, like, you know, how
Strip
things
Mine
are going,
is also good
but
here.
I think that Axel is definitely, like, you know, like, he has a little bit of, like a color and mana issue.
Yeah,
And
it's
I would,
different.
if I was Morten, I would probably...
Slow and steady?
Yeah, kind of. Like, you don't really have to rush for anything, right?
Yeah. Also, I don't think there's any... Oh, I guess Wrath of God is legal. Sorry, not lethal.
It is.
But you have... Yeah, that's...
Oh, wow. And there
Is
is
this
a
like...
crumble.
Yeah, Crumble is good. So he knew about the Chain Lightning and Wheel of Fortune, so at least he knows
Right.
he's somewhat heavy red. So
Right.
taking the red marks is a good choice.
Right. Also, maybe you guys can see that, but Axel does have 2 City of Brass in his hand. Like, he can't play those 2 lands. They're just... It's just
All
simply...
thanks to City in a Bottle.
Yeah, simply doesn't work. Like, he's thinking about it, but...
So
nope.
how does this... Yeah, so
Can't
at least
play-
I caught that before the old school players. So I'm proud now. I'm proud.
Can't play that.
3 mana, we see a Stone Rain, and I really don't like that card against mono green, but I mean, if Axel metagamed with Red Elemental Blast, Blue Elemental Blast, stuff like that, that's not going to be effective either
Right.
against mono green. So maybe it's just... Because this is very low impact, right? You just Wheel of Fortune your opponent's hand, now you
Right.
kill a forest for 3 mana. It's not really going to do much.
I kind of like Stone Rain for on a Mishra's Factory or like a Pendlehaven, maybe,
Yeah.
right?
But it's a lot while getting hit by small creatures.
Yeah.
So I think, I can't remember the name of that card, but that creature's like a 2/1 with protection from artifact creatures. The one Morten has.
Right, it's Agosian Pixies, I think it's called. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't be blocked by artifact creatures.
And can't get shot by like Triskelion. So I would
Right.
guess the Oracle text of that card would be like protection from artifact creatures.
Probably.
Because you can still kill it with Chaos Orb and stuff.
Right.
But I think that's like the gist of it. Oh, and there's Ice Storm. So floating mana and killing
Nice.
with Bolt. Yeah, I mean,
But you know, the pressure seal keeps
And-
coming in.
as you talked about before, a lot of decks will slot the Mishra's Factory into their deck, like with very low cost. So it's like Mutavault in like Pioneer aggro decks or whatever. It's the same thing here. So when Morten runs out of things to do, he has
Yeah.
like another free attacker.
And I do think
Speaking of
I
balance,
do think Axel just drew the probably one of the best cards.
that's
Right?
so
He oh my goodness. Oh, like what is going on?
He has to discard a card, but that card didn't matter.
Doesn't matter, dude. It's a City of Brass.
But I
oh
don't
my
think
goodness.
Axel has his land drop, so I guess he went back to a stall. And is that a Maze of Ith?
That's a Maze of Ith, but it just doesn't do much, right?
Yeah, that's not gonna help develop your game plan.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, so this might be just two awesome, like unique games straight off the bat, like the super fast kill in game 1, and now this
Right.
balance stalemate. Yeah, this is great.
Oh man.
Why is
Yeah.
Axel's lands
dying.
dying? Yeah, because the other guy's bad sport.
There's I think this is like the 1/1 wolves of banding, I think.
Okay.
Right?
So
Get-
Axel, I like the strategy. Just get a. Ooh, the forest was maybe good, and that's another one. So you're saying 1/1 banding?
Right?
Yeah, that says a lot about Magic in these times, like when the best creatures are Serendipity free, the Savannah Lions. The
Right.
creatures were bad back then, but the spells were very, very strong.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think like even like the especially like the removal spells are like, you know, like these are the cards you still see in Modern, in
Yeah.
Legacy, in
Yeah.
Vintage sometimes.
Yeah.
They're so iconic and good still. But
Swords
like
to
the creatures,
Plowshares and Lightning Bolt, just so good.
yeah. But like the creatures, you know, like I don't think they really had a plan, you know, back in the day. You know, just didn't really know like what's going on. you
Yeah,
know,
for
like,
sure.
Do you have a favorite old school like Magic creature maybe? Like yeah.
Old school Magic creatures. So
Yeah.
if I was playing, I would just play like the least creatures as possible, like 1 or 2 Sarah Angels, like some control deck.
I like that.
And
Like,
yeah, but I didn't really play back then as a kid. I didn't start until like Invasion, and so my favorite creature would be like Psychic or Spirit Monger.
Right,
but that's
right.
not old school compared to this. But on my timeline, it's old school.
interesting. So yeah.
Did you play back then?
I did not. I was a baby. I started like I started in Onslaught.
Yeah.
But I had a couple of friends who played with like revised cards, so it kind of
Awesome.
it kind of brings back a lot of memories.
So this is pretty cool. So Fireball takes out one of the creatures, and because of Pendelhaven, he couldn't really kill 2 creatures, which is kind of cool.
Right.
And then Savannah Lions hit the table.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that out of
Right.
the seemingly like grindy, bigger deck, if that makes sense.
Right? No, it's a little strange, but like however, it is somewhat decent in this matchup.
It's like a Delver.
It's somewhat like a Delver. Yeah.
But yeah, getting just hit over and over by the sprites. Axel's down to 7.
I mean,
He has a card like Psionic Blast in hand. Take 2 more damage. Not really.
Yeah.
Cast Time Twister. Refill your opponent. Not really
Right.
either.
Ah.
But yeah, Mind Twist was good. So that was the whole hand, by the way. So
Yeah, Morten has a plan. You know, it's just like pushing last points of damage. It's not much, and those.
but I think with Pendelhaven, it's so likely he gets the job done here.
Right. Let's see. I mean, Axel is trying like everything to like
Yeah.
just deal with those like
But this is
pesky
so
1/1s.
tough. Even Brain Guys are uncastable. All the cards are uncastable in the hand.
Right.
So now he's going to get hit down to 2, and he needs to find an answer for the sprite. Otherwise, it's going to... Yeah, Pendelhaven damage really added up this game.
This card is obscene in this game. It's just
How many
so
do you
much
think
work.
How many do you think he's running?
Oh, like I would probably go for the full set almost. Like even though it's a legendary land,
Yeah.
like it's so. Oh my goodness, there's even a Mishra's Factory. But like this
Yeah.
Pendelhaven is so
Yeah, that-
good in this deck. Like I would rather draw 2 than 0. I think.
I think I would play like 3. Yeah, so there's the concession. No way for Axel to stabilize.
There you go.
Ice Storm, Strip Mine, City in a Bottle.
City in a Bottle.
While just getting in for...
Yeah.
Well, it was meaningful damage in this context because the creatures are lower power, etc. But yeah, that was just... that was some cool stuff for sure.
That was
I
sick.
think we should just see how the second feature match is going. I'm not quite sure how I actually get to that one, but maybe there will come someone and help me out how I get to the second feature match. This tech stuff is not really my my strong suit. Okay. Yeah, I think we will.
There we go.
We got there by magic. I have a very, very
Nice.
clever guy working behind the scenes. That he helps me look a little bit clever. So yeah, that works. So basically, we see a beautiful board of five marks on Time Twist.
Look at this value. Holy moly. This is so much.
Yeah, this is perfect.
man.
So question is if which game that was. Can't really tell you here. So if they shuffle up for another game, well, we're in luck, I guess.
Yeah. Dude, I like we saw, I think like one of the biggest creature ever printed, I think, in the oldest set is like the Mahamotijin, which like
Mahamotijin. Yeah.
Right, just enormous blue flyer. I like it a lot. It has like such a cool vibe to it. Painted by Dane Frazier.
Yeah, perfect.
The Mox guy, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's like a 6/5 flyer. No, it was a 5/6, I think.
Yeah, it's a 5/6,
Right.
and not many creatures from back then are bigger. I think there was some 9/9 where like a huge cumulative upkeep. I can't remember the name of it. I think I saw, but yeah, you're definitely right.
Right.
It's a great card, but yeah, it dies to Red Blast, so yeah.
Oh my goodness! Like imagine your 6-mana,
Yeah.
6-drop getting Red Blasted. Holy
Yeah, exactly.
shit.
That's like
oh man.
I could imagine that will happen throughout the day. So yeah, it turns out that their match is finished, but I mean, maybe we can get someone who's like between games to join for a feature match, but I would need some assistance to go check that out. So yeah, we got to witness like a super aggressive deck and a deck that's more. So it has the Savannah Alliance for early game. It has a very good late game, but it really didn't get going because of resource denial.
Like it was always on the book on the back foot.
Yeah.
Right. Like it never really like pushed through.
But I think you make a good point where you say like these old decks are like archetypes that are still thriving these days.
Right.
It just felt like a control deck getting wastelanded over and over while getting hit by Delver. It's not that far off from what we're playing.
Yeah, totally.
It's just, so if only I could unload my cards, I would win this game. Yeah, that's the whole point. The other deck is trying to not let you do that.
Right.
So yeah, I really like the comparison between Infect, and it had some like Delver resemblance that the bigger blue deck played Savannah Alliance because it makes you more versatile. So let's say you're in a pseudo mirror or whatever, you can get in for a lot of chip damage early and finish them off with, I would assume, like eight bolts and some Psionic Blast later.
Right. It is also maybe like important to note that there's almost no life gain in old school Magic. Like the life gain, the Spirit Link mechanic was not really as popular. There is an enchantment literally called Spirit Link, which we can put on a creature, but then it's if you put it on a Serra Angel, it's like kind of like a DIY Battle Skull, but.
Yeah,
you don't really see that more often because like people still play Swords of Plowshares and Psionic Blasts and things like that. Like removal is so good.
I was about to say you have to get creative to gain life, like plow your own creature in response to some removal. Yeah. There's also like crumble your own thing or divine offering, but it has to make sense, right? Like in response to burn spell, or you have to work for it, as you say. Not a lot of like huge life swinging cards. So I'm just told that the judge is trying to find someone willing to move to the feature match area.
Yay, nice.
So let's just keep it going. I'm super excited to see how the weekend unfolds. Like, what's your favorite thing you're gonna do this weekend?
Oh, so it's gonna be like a long weekend full of like several like events with different formats.
Yeah.
Today was a modern qualifier because I think the main event is tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Which modern main event starts tomorrow. So we had a trial today.
Yeah. And
actually still going. They're gonna get home pretty late. Because they turn it into a 7-round Swiss tournament. I mean,
plus
people...
top 8? Right?
Yeah, plus top 8.
Goodness,
so it's like...
Dude, people are here for it, It's some good old paper Magic. There's also going to be like pre-modern on Sunday and Legacy and Vintage. Tomorrow is going to be like another old school event. Yeah. But like a bigger like difference to this event is that like you can also play with like FBB cards, for example, like Italian, French, German cards if you want to, or like revised if that's your jam. As I will also join the old school tournament tomorrow. I'm crazy enough, but I'm not that crazy to have like everything in beta and unlimited.
So what are you playing tomorrow? What's your old school deck of choice?
Like,
can I guess?
You know what? Like
let me guess here.
Okay, well, go ahead.
You play blue deck.
I do.
You play. I think you play Grixis. You look like a Grixis guy.
I do love Grixis, man. I do love Grixis, but I also do love Serra Angels, and
Oh.
so I'm playing a 5-color deck basically.
Really?
Yeah. And what's so embarrassing is maybe that like the more I looked at the previous match we called, it's like this is almost like very close to my deck honestly,
Yeah.
because I also do play Savannah Lines and Serra Angels and.
Okay.
Well,
wow.
I think I'm gonna reveal like here now, but the concept I
Yeah,
have
go for it.
for my deck is that it's like a Savannah Lion and Serra Angel deck, but post sideboard I'm gonna take out all the lions and become like a pseudo control deck, you know, only with Serra Angels.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring in a Shivan Dragon instead, you know,
Wow.
just trying to be like a pseudo cool control deck. It's
That's-
not gonna work, you know.
That's not only pseudo cool. That is cool. Steven Dragon is cool.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, that's perfect. So
Yeah.
let's see here. You're a legend with Doomsday.
Well, Doomsday is gonna be the plan for Sunday, as we have the big Legacy main event, right? It's gonna be like the last day of this huge event here in Sweden.
Yep.
And I'm so stoked to see like so many familiar faces, like
Yeah.
from Magic Online, you know, from past events. It's gonna be huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, that's definitely. It's a whole nother experience, right? When you play online or you play via like webcam, it's not exactly the same. Here you get like the full experience. So I can see people in the chat complaining about us talking about other things than old school. Well, to me, I'm a competitive player, so I put things in perspective. I'm not an old school expert, but I am a Magic expert. So it's going to be putting things in perspective, and I hope you will accept it. And it's not exactly as lifelink. One is a static, the other is a triggered. Yeah, I mean, there is some scenario where that's a difference maker between like a trigger and between the static ability, for sure. And yeah, being good with the rules is definitely a good skill. We might need it throughout the weekend.
I mean,
eternal
it's always good to have a chat, you know, like because
Yeah.
like chat is
yeah,
king.
it can be super helpful. So all eternal chat, welcome here. Okay, so I'll remember that. I'll keep the standard out of it. So I have good news, everybody. Because we have another match lined up. I'm just going to assume this is 2 players getting ready for Game 3. Because of the time that's gone by, but could be Game 2. Let's see. On the left, we have Michael. He's wearing a T-shirt today that we won like 16 years ago in Danish Vintage Nationals. The
sick.
Psychotalk T-shirt. Maybe you can spot it from here. And he's the only one who hasn't grown out of it yet. For me, it's too small these days, but he's still the same size. So
This is a crazy start again. Like
this is awesome.
Yeah. So we again, like we do see these Live of Alexandria, you know, just doing some work here. But on the other side of things, you know, we have the classic mono black star with like dark ritual into Hypnotic Spectre.
Well,
like that's
Swamp, I didn't expect. Wow.
that's
that's
so iconic.
Yeah, Ritual Hypnotic Spectre.
Right.
That's
And what
awesome.
I like about it so much is that like it really deals with the civil with the Live of Alexandria like in an elegant way. I want to say, you know.
It depends on how you want to play it. I think with Library of Alexandria in Stina's place here, she could have taken the draw, passed the turn, and then on Michael's turn, draw up to 8, get discarded down to 7. So she could have like kept it going if she wanted to.
Right.
But she decided to like unload cards soaring into Black Vice because she just doesn't expect to have a hand moving forward.
I mean, like the race is on. There's
Yep.
there's a
Yeah,
Black
but-
Vice, you know, just doing some damage.
The Hypnotic Spectre versus, yeah, that's the problem with altars. I'm going to do the same as Michael. What is this? Yeah, that's the problem with altars, but it looks pretty damn cool. It looks like something you could have painted.
Like it almost looks like a brainstorm, but obviously brainstorm is not legal in this format.
Okay, I see what you're saying. What about Brain Geyser?
Yeah, maybe so. It has a lot of text on it. So we have a DT. Okay, classic tutor. Demonic
So
tutor.
the thing is, if you're playing mono black, what do you demonic tutor for? It's not like, so when I demonic tutor, I find ancestral recall, tinker,
Right.
something crazy. But what's going on here in mono black?
So as
Could be like sinkhole or second spectre or something.
I think I saw like a red spell in a couple of red spells in the deck. So it might be like a Rakdos.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
like a black rat.
Oh, so maybe he's playing like the
Yeah.
troll.
It might be, yeah. Settroll
Yeah,
might be like
Troll must be one of the best creatures in the format. I just assume.
Yeah.
Jusum Jin, speaking of one of the best creatures in the format. Yeah, I think that's my favorite now.
He's so badass. So for everyone, it's a 4 mana 5/5, and deals 1 damage to you in
Yeah.
your upkeep, which is just not a real backflip. If you consider like how good this creature is, right?
Yeah,
Like, 4 and a 5/5
but you do have to like finish the game in somewhat reasonable time frame. You can't just have a couple of those lying around and have a standstill.
Right.
Also, as you said, not a lot of life gain going on. So the fact that Michael is on a red splash or like 2-color deck, that means bolts and chain lightnings in this context. So
yeah,
whew.
totally.
Like, do you know that card?
That's the like something with clay, I think.
Is it a creature?
It is. It is.
Okay.
It is. I just gotta remember what it does.
Yeah, that's the problem here. So,
Okay, so we do-
Spectre on the other side of the table, and the Jin will finish the game faster in your favor than it will kill yourself. So, let's see what's going on here.
Yeah, Stina definitely on the beatdown plan now.
Yeah.
We gotta see like because like lightning bolts are pretty efficient against not only hypnotic specters but also like in a long game where like
Yep.
use them Jin just it does deal some damage to you, and then lightning bolt might be just like the lethal spell,
Yep.
finishing off the game.
So, Clay Statue, 3/1 regenerate for 2. So it's like more trolls, just hard
Yeah.
to kill threats that can favorably attack into a lot of things. Okay, clearing the way here for Spectre, and not to mention, it's like a wall against Jusumjin. So
It
you
is.
just-
It is. Damn. It is. Yeah. It's one of the best ways, right? And regenerate like, just being so important,
Yep.
right? Because like again, like removal spells are like disenchant, lightning bolts, plus
Yeah.
Sonic Blast. Sword Plowshares is probably like the cleanest answer, but
And speaking of disenchants, Stina drew a Shatter.
oh my
So
goodness.
now the statue is... Don't pass the turn. Oh!
I mean, there's no red mana, right, for the shadow.
Oh, no red mana? That's also bad.
That's also a problem.
We've actually seen, just in these couple of rounds or a couple of matches, we've seen quite a few like mana issues.
Right.
I'm pretty curious because I've never played a single game. But
Yeah.
when I look at the decks, the mana bases look ambitious, let's call it that.
Yeah.
So let's see if that continues, because
Right.
I really want to see people cast all their awesome cards. He played Clay with only 3 mana. Okay. Oh yeah, that's a good point. So, someone said in the chat, it's good with Nevinyrral's Disc
It is.
to
It
have the
is.
regenerators.
Yep. There are a couple of creatures. I think like the most important one is like Set Troll.
Yeah.
Just cleanest thing. Oh wow. We do find the red source finally to
Yep.
finish off this Hypnotic Spectre.
So do you think that card is Chain Lightning or Lightning Bolt?
That I'm
Oh, Clay costs 4. Yeah, that is a problem.
okay.
But okay, so you pay 4 mana for a 3/1 regenerator. So it's like extra troll.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's obviously. Oh, Lightning
So,
Bolt.
yeah, like look at this. Like Usum Gen really not in the position to attack because of
Yeah.
of the blocker,
Uh-huh.
and it just keeps pinging you, right? Like you Cena only at 6 life, and there are lightning bolts
Yeah.
in Michael's hand. It's not getting better, and there is,
Sengir Vampire, another legendary creature.
and that's also a
Well,
flyer.
it's not legendary, but it is.
It is a massive.
Yeah,
It's a massive flyer.
it's a really awesome card. I remember buying my first cards, and it was like part of a collection. Okay, so Chain Lightning on the 3/1. I don't think Michael minds too much.
Right.
So what's the Jin gonna do here? It's because one swing from the Sengir plus 1 upkeep trigger. That's lethal.
That's lethal. I think Stina is just like she has a Dark Ritual in hand. That's all she
Yep.
has. I think
Yep.
it's she knows exactly what's going on.
I don't need. Oh, what's the name of that card that Michael just drew? I love the artwork on that card. I just can't remember the. Yeah, that's a problem.
And there is another Sengir Vampire, but it really doesn't.
For good measure.
Oh my goodness! And it
Yeah.
I do see a beta Dark Ritual, I think, but again, Usum Jin paying the full cost here.
Yeah, definitely. You need to be. You can't be too much behind when you play that card.
Right.
Then bad things will happen if the game goes long.
Yeah.
If you're the aggressor is obviously very, very strong.
What a game! So that was like 2 Rakdos decks, basically. Like
Yeah, which
black
is
black
not
and
what I
red.
expected to see.
Right.
But I mean, I guess Set Troll is a strong card, so it makes a little sense.
Right.
So they're talking a bit about the Shatter thing, but I also missed the fact that Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't have red mana at the time.
Right. And also, like when you look at those deck lists, like they have very limited ways to dealing with like toughness 4 creatures. I think in general, right?
Yeah.
Because like all they have is like lightning bolts, chain lightning.
What about Terror? Is that a playable card?
I mean, it is, but it doesn't kill black creatures, right?
Yeah,
So,
that's...
those
no
Thinking
artifact.
Vampires, they look almighty.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for those colors, yeah, you need, like, big removal. Yeah, that's the card. I can't remember. Lost Soul. Okay, thank you. We can do a quick lookup. So I really enjoy this, like, open sideboarding just to get an overview of what's going on. So, okay, I see Disintegrate. I see Factories.
Oh, okay, so Lost Soul is a 3-mana, a 2/1 with Swamp Folk,
So that's-
which is obviously a powerhouse in this matchup, right?
Yeah, so Michael has that card in the sideboard to, like, have a leg up in any, like, black Pseudomere.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, you have to, like, reset your brain when you evaluate creatures here.
Right, right.
Because that's like the challenge for me. I know the spells, I play them in Vintage all the time, but the creatures, you have to get kind of creative.
Right.
Yeah, so we got a little more action in there with Arachnos Mirror. I didn't expect that at all.
Dude,
I would expect people to play, like, blue-white decks, splashing, like Mind Twist and Demonic Tutor, 5-color control, like, what's it called, the deck? Is that the name?
Yep.
Yeah, the
That's
deck.
The deck.
I would expect, like, blue-red, like, tempo-ish deck with
Yeah.
Flying Men, Surrender Befried, burn spells to finish it off.
Classy.
But yeah, this is just an awesome display of Magic history, I guess. That's just
Really?
the whole point, right? You get to take a train to Sweden, and then you can buy back your whole childhood and just play these cards like it was 1993 or 1994, which is like the period for this format as a whole.
Yeah.
Okay. That's,